Have you ever wondered if there's a place in Italy so enchanting it feels like stepping into a fairy tale? Well, here we are, back on the grand tour of Italy, and today, we're diving into Tropea, which is an absolutely stunning coastal town that's like nowhere else. Picture this, winding through a maze of centuries-old streets, where each turn reveals a little cafe spilling over with charm, or a hidden gelato shop serving up scoops so creamy, you'll swear you've never tasted anything like it. And that's just the start, because we're going all the way down to Tropea legendary beaches, where the views are so beautiful, it's hard to believe they're real. But before we kick off, we just wanted to remind you to catch our last episode where we brought you on a private boat tour around Arco Magno and San Nicola Arcella. In case you want to watch it, click on the pop-out on the top right corner of your screen. And I'll also leave a link to it in the description below. Do watch it, as it is really an amazing video. Alright, come on now and follow me, let's wander off the beaten path. And remember to hit the subscribe button if you have not done so already. As we are driving along the coastal road to Tropea, let me tell you this, we have got loads to show you today. But that's not all. We've got some twists and turns along the way, including an ancient sanctuary on a rocky island, and we will tell you about Tropea's most famous export, the red onion. We kick off right here, perched on the edge of paradise. And our hotel is clinging to the cliffside, and the views are absolutely unreal. Just look at that. It feels like we're floating above the world, with nothing but the sea breeze and the sound of waves crashing below. Honestly, if there's a better spot to enjoy your morning coffee, I'm not sure it exists. From up here, the water is a perfect mix of turquoise and deep blue, like someone spilled a whole bottle of Mediterranean magic. And the hotel has these gorgeous flower arrangements everywhere, from the entrance to the terraces, and it feels like a little garden oasis clinging to the cliff. Our hotel is tucked in one quiet corner of town, overlooking the sea and with a direct staircase leading all the way down to the beach. We will be using this access to head down to the beach later on in this video, but for now, let us make our way towards the town center and explore there first. Tropea has got a story to tell, and it's not just about those gorgeous views. And legend has it that this town was founded by none other than Hercules himself. Yeah, that's right, Hercules, the guy who wrestled lions and pretty much did everything else epic you've ever heard of, supposedly made a pit stop here on one of his adventures. Honestly, who could blame him? If I were Hercules, I'd want a break in Tropea too. Fast forward to real history, and this place was a hot spot for the Greeks and Romans, who loved its location up on these cliffs with a perfect view over the Tyrrhenian Sea. My husband is already looking annoyed, so I smiled at him. And it's because we keep stopping every few meters along the way, it seems that it is taking longer than we anticipated. But he never complained when we stopped by this small church, with an elegant, yet simple interior. Back in the Roman days, the Greeks actually used Tropea as a naval base, since you could see ships coming from miles away, pretty handy if you wanted to keep an eye out for any unwelcome visitors. Then the Normans came in the Middle Ages and really left their mark, turning Tropea into a fortified town with monasteries and churches popping up everywhere. It was also a big trading hub, shipping out olive oil, wine, and the real star of the show, Tropea's famous sweet red onions. And when I say famous, I mean it. Because these onions have been growing here since at least the 4th century BC, and locals swear they're the sweetest you'll find. They say it's all about that volcanic soil. So sure, Hercules might have put Tropea on the map, but the onions made it unforgettable. Did you know that this little town has taken quite a few hits from pirates, earthquakes, sea storms, you name it, but it's bounced back every time, just adding a bit more charm and character with each rebuild. We are now at the Piazza del Cannone, and I've got to say, it's one of the best spots in Tropea for taking in the scenery. Because this place is perched right on the edge of the cliff, giving you this jaw-dropping view of the coastline and the sparkling Tyrrhenian Sea below. For me, it's straight away Instagram photos, and this is where I need my husband to multitask, being the personal photographer and our channel videographer. Seriously, it's like the whole sea just opens up before you. So, follow me and let me show it to you. In the background, perched on its own cliff, sits the Santa Maria dell'Isola, and we will visit there later on. The views from the piazza are absolutely iconic. And of course, you've got a couple of cannons here, hence the name, Piazza del Cannone. They were useful when Tropea needed a bit of extra defense against pirates and invaders. And can you imagine defending this place? For me, the views would almost distract me from doing the job. Leaving the piazza, I followed my husband as he walked deeper into the old town. And on top of doing filming, he became our tour guide as well, and the charming alleyways were lined with rustic stone buildings that seem to tell 1,000 stories. You can almost feel the history as you walk. It's like every corner has a secret, waiting to be discovered. The streets are full of character. Just look at these weathered facades, with vibrant shutters and flower boxes spilling over with geraniums and bougainvillea. It's like the town has been dressed up for a festival that never ends. And then there's that mix of smells, freshly brewed espresso, wood-fired pizza, and a hint of sea breeze, and it's impossible to resist. And just when you think you've seen it all, a hidden square or charming little courtyard appears, adding yet another layer to this enchanting town. Tropea is an absolute gem when it comes to food, and the old town is packed with restaurants that really make you feel like you've stumbled upon something special. These are the back alleys of Tropea, and these aren't just shortcuts or hidden paths, but they're the veins of the old town, connecting every part of its heart and soul. As you wander through these narrow passageways, it feels like stepping back in time. And the cobblestones beneath your feet have been worn smooth by centuries of footsteps, and the walls are weathered, telling stories of old secrets and whispered conversations. Now we're strolling down Corso Vittorio Emanuele, Tropea main promenade, and you can immediately sense the energy here. For me, the first thing I sensed was food. And then there was this bellowing sound in my stomach, like my body was letting me know I needed to eat soon. Around us, the aroma of fresh pastries and espresso drifts out onto the street, practically begging you to stop for a quick coffee, and it's the kind of place where time slows down, and you can just enjoy the simple pleasures. The Corso is also lined with charming shops selling everything from handmade ceramics to stylish beachwear. So we walked down the street, in the direction of the sea. I wanted to eat, but my husband felt it was way too soon for even an early meal. Anyway, the real showstopper along this Corso is right here, at the very edge of this alleyway. Let me show it to you. And I won't even have to describe it. I'll just let you enjoy it. Amazing, right? And don't worry, we will visit the church on the cliff later on, and we will also even bring you for a swim in this amazing sea, right by this impossibly beautiful beach, down there. But for now, let us continue exploring the old town. If you are lost, there are some tourist maps, posted in various areas of town, to help you locate your position. But my husband said that the best way to explore Tropea was to first get lost in Tropea. And that is just another one of his crazy ideas. So, we ditched the Google map, and we took the first narrow alley on our left that we came across. And let's see where this leads us to. The walls looked worn by time, and the walkway was in pretty bad shape, so I turned around and checked if he was sure that this was the right way. But he just waved for me to press on. And I did just that. Actually, these alleys feel like a treasure hunt, especially because around almost every corner, you'll stumble upon hidden gems. Tropea is generally a very safe town, especially for tourists, and that is why we felt so comfortable walking around aimlessly. And talking about gems, we are now near the Church of Jesus and the Palazzo Sant'Anna. The church, with its Baroque interiors, is known for beautiful frescoes and an ornate altar, and the palace, once a noble residence, tells stories of the town's aristocratic past. And just a few steps away around the corner is the Municipio of Tropea. Like I said before, each alleyway leads to hidden treasures, making it feel like a treasure hunt as you wander. We are now at this square known as Largo Gallupi, and one of the most striking features here is its stunning panoramic views of the Tyrrhenian Sea. And I'll show you the view in just a minute, so stick around. The square offers a beautiful vantage point to take in the coastal scenery and the dramatic cliffs that define Tropea coastline. And on a clear day, the view is simply breathtaking, making it a perfect spot for photos. This area is known as Cannone Vista Porto, and as the name suggests, it provides spectacular views of the port and the surrounding coastline. Actually, the viewpoint is located near the remnants of ancient watchtowers and fortifications that were once part of Tropea coastal defense system. It is just a short walk from the town center, making it a rather convenient stop during your exploration. From here, we can't really have a good look at the port, due to the numerous trees that obstruct the view, but we will walk to another area that offers a clearer sight. There is a sign along the way on which Duomo is written and pointing straight ahead. So let us walk in this direction then. The tourist port of Tropea is the town's main marina, and it's a fantastic starting point for exploring Tropea and its surroundings by sea. It is easily accessible from Tropea Old Town, with a walking path leading down to the marina. And there is also a parking area nearby, which makes it convenient if you're arriving by car. This small alley is in fact a dead end. But then, if we walk towards the end, we can have a much clearer view of the marina from this vantage point. La Rupe Apartments is the sign you need to look up for if you wish to locate it on the Google map. And this is the view you will get once you are at the end of the path. The marina sits against the striking backdrop of Tropea cliffs and historic buildings perched above, creating a picture-perfect setting. As I mentioned, it is the launching point for many boat tours and day trips. From here, you can take excursions to the Aeolian Islands, including the famous volcanic island of Stromboli. We walked past some restaurants, and this immediately opened up my stomach. We continued our way through the old town, longing for something unique to satisfy my craving for food. At the end of this narrow path known as Via Pontorieri, the scenery opened up into a very large outdoor piazza. On our right is the majestic Cathedral of the Most Holy Mary of Romania, but right in front of us are some inviting Italian restaurants, all with fantastic views. Nearby is the Scala del Vescovado, a historic stone staircase, leading from the old town down to the lower part of the city near the beach. The name translates to the Bishop's Staircase, as it was traditionally used by the clergy, linking the upper town, where the cathedral is, with the more accessible areas below. As you descend, you're treated to breathtaking views of the coast, and it's a photographer's dream, especially around sunset when the warm light enhances the ancient stones and the shimmering sea. Rather than taking winding roads, this staircase offers a more direct way to reach the sand and surf, especially popular in the summer. But I was not going to take any staircase to go anywhere, because there was an amazing and delicious food smell that was tickling my nostrils. Besides the restaurants, and just opposite the main facade of the cathedral, there is this small shop, known as Coos, that sells freshly caught, fried seafood. And we highly recommend it. My husband ordered a few types of quappy, and I sat on one of the benches opposite, to wait for the food. And I refused to go anywhere else. So, I sat there and waited. Meanwhile, my husband walked around, and explored the area surrounding the cathedral. The Cathedral of the Most Holy Mary of Romania is a historical gem located in the heart of town. And built around the 12th century by the Normans, this cathedral has stood the test of time and multiple natural disasters. It was constructed in a classic Romanesque style and has seen modifications over the centuries, blending Gothic and Baroque elements with its original design. Inside, the cathedral is austere yet majestic, with tall columns and high vaulted ceilings. But more about it in a while. For now, please allow me a few moments to sit down and to try the fried seafood that my husband ordered for me. This is highly recommended, and I had a few types of quappy and they were tasty and fresh. Alright, now that I am full, let us continue our tour. So, the cathedral, right? It is dedicated to Our Lady of Romania, a title referring to the Virgin Mary, who is venerated as Tropea protector. According to legend, a Byzantine icon of the Virgin Mary arrived in Tropea from Romania in the 8th century, and since then, she has been a revered figure in the town, believed to protect it from earthquakes and other disasters. Leaving the cathedral, we took another walkway, known as Via Roma, and this lively stretch runs through the heart of the old town, and it is flanked by beautiful old buildings, giving it that classic Italian ambience. You'll find a mix of artisan shops along Via Roma, perfect for picking up unique souvenirs. And you'll also encounter scenic alleyways beautifully decorated with flower pots, feeling that you are suddenly transformed into an Instagram model. Talking about Instagram, this spot right here, known as Piazza Ercole, is a central and lively square in the heart of the old town. And it is a spot where you can take hundreds of Instagram-worthy shots. It's usually bustling with people and it has several cafes and restaurants where people can sit, enjoy a drink, and watch the activity around them. This is exactly what we did. Since it was still early in the day, we ordered 2 cappuccinos, along with some delicious cakes. The piazza is surrounded by historic buildings with classic Italian architecture, featuring arches, stone facades, and charming balconies. Right in the center of the piazza, there is a statue of Pasquale Gallupi, an 18th century philosopher born in Tropea, who is known for his contributions to epistemology. If you look at the map of Tropea, the old town is more or less in the shape of the circle, and the Piazza Ercole is right at the center of this circle. Therefore, it is not surprising the surrounding is always bustling with activities, attracting a large crowd of people. You'll find small, family-owned boutiques offering unique, handcrafted items like ceramics, leather goods, and jewelry. And many pieces here are made by local artisans, so each item has a story behind it, and it's common to see shopkeepers proudly showcasing their creations. This is a picture-perfect spot located near the piazza, and it is right here, at Largo Mercato. Around, you will find dozens of boutiques selling t-shirts with printed iconic photos, famous paintings as well as special messages. We did what everyone does once they reach this spot, which is to snap a dozen photos for Instagram, and then we continued along Corso Vittorio Emanuele towards Tropea Centro. The Corso is lined up with even more shops on this side of town, and with each step we took, it felt that we were walking away from the old into the more modern. If you have time, pause the video and try to read and decipher what is written on these t-shirts on display. At the same time, please hit that subscribe button if you have not done so. And remember to leave us a comment at the end, to let us have your feedback and to share with us your own experience of Italy. We are now along Largo San Michele, near the Church of St. Michael, and this corner of town exudes a charming, historic vibe that feels like stepping back in time. But first let us try these unique Italian delights. And they cost around €2.50 each for an arancini, and we tried a few flavors. Honestly, it was our first time tasting this, and I need to say that the flavor and texture was good. The Church of St. Michael has a timeless architecture, and the surrounding area is a blend of the traditional and the modern. On one side, you'll see centuries-old residences, while cozy little cafes and artisan shops give it a lively touch, making it a lovely place to sit and people-watch or grab a quick espresso. This area is known as Piazza Vittorio Veneto, and it is another square that is framed by buildings with classic Italian architecture, giving it an old-world charm. And this is just outside the old city. We took this road to walk back to our hotel, to get changed, in order to bring you to the beach area. This tour of Tropea is far from over, and we hope you do stick around to the end. And there is still a lot more to see and do in this amazing city. As we walk back towards the hotel, do take a look at the surroundings, and notice how the scenery changes gradually, the further we step away from the old town. Tropea is often called the Balcony of the Gods because of its stunning clifftop location overlooking the Tyrrhenian Sea. And you will understand why exactly, if you keep watching this video. Its breathtaking vistas and turquoise waters have long inspired stories of divine origins. And locals believe that the town's beauty is otherworldly, gifted by the gods themselves. The best way is to just show these breathtaking vistas to you. And please do let us know in the comments section below, if you agree or if you disagree with this belief. We are now making our way towards the beach area, using this private staircase that winds down along the cliffside from our hotel. And from here, you will be able to appreciate some of these amazing vistas. To be frank, it seems that we have suddenly been transported to another town, and the vibe here is totally different from the vibe in the old town. Tropea iconic cliffside houses look like they're clinging to the rocks by sheer willpower, and they've survived centuries of earthquakes, harsh weather, and even pirate attacks. It is also said that Tropea beaches are some of the most beautiful in Italy, with crystal clear, turquoise waters and soft white sand framed by dramatic cliffs. We are at one of them, and we will let you be the judge for yourself. And do let us know once more, in the comments section, whether you agree or disagree with that fact. The beaches here are among the most iconic spots on the Tyrrhenian coast, and they draw beach lovers from all over the world, particularly to the two main beaches near the Santa Maria dell'Isola sanctuary, Spiaggia della Rotonda and Spiaggia a Linguata. We are now walking from Spiaggia a Linguata towards another hidden spot in Tropea. So follow me and I'll show it to you. Oh, just one more thing, if you have soft feet like my husband, or if you are scared of pebbled beaches, then I seriously recommend that you bring along a pair of sandals or slippers to walk on the beach here. My husband did not bring any slippers and he was clearly having a hard time. He was suddenly moody, and although he kept his iPhone on to record this video, he was clearly an unhappy man at this point. But I was feeling completely the opposite. And the waters here are simply amazing. And I just had to jump in and enjoy it. Like all of Tropea beaches, the water here is clean and has a striking shade of turquoise. And the depth increases gradually, making it accessible for all types of swimmers. We are near the Grotta di Trearchi, and it is a stunning natural sea cave, and its name means Cave of Three Arches, referring to the unique rock formation that creates three natural archways, allowing light and water to filter through in mesmerizing ways. When you go through the cave, you can have clear view of the other famous beach in Tropea. And later on, I'll bring you there, but for now, give me a few more minutes to enjoy the sea. Have you heard about the word Lidos? Well, they are in fact Italian beach clubs, and you will find several of them along this beach. And this is where you can rent lounges, umbrellas, and order food. Around here, there is also a good selection of beach bars and restaurants, offering fresh seafood, pasta, and, of course, gelato. Tropea coastline has more than just pretty beaches, it's filled with hidden coves and sea caves that can only be reached by boat or through narrow paths. It's a place where you can truly escape, finding a private piece of paradise right under the iconic cliffs. I'll be honest, we were supposed to climb the staircase up to the sanctuary of Santa Maria, but it seems that the sea was calling me and I could not resist. This beach is located right next to the cave, which itself is situated right under the sanctuary. It is known as the Beach of the Convent, and it really is one of Tropea's most serene and picturesque beaches. I love it for its peaceful vibe and relatively uncrowded stretches of soft sand, mixed with small pebbles. And the beach sits right below Tropea's dramatic cliffs, offering us a sweeping view of the towering cliffside and the historic buildings clinging to its edges. The turquoise water here is exceptionally clear, creating ideal conditions for snorkeling and swimming, while the sand and calm surroundings make it a relaxing spot to lounge. You must be wondering, what am I doing on these rocks? It looks dangerous, right? Well, it's not. I am just trying to reach the next beach, which is just up ahead. My husband was watching my every move carefully, so I felt even more confident. And, what a view! Let me show it to you. This is the beach of the Rotunda, and what makes it particularly special is its location right under Tropea's cliffside. But for now, let us enjoy the views. Perched atop this cliff is the sanctuary of Santa Maria dell'Isola, and more about it in a bit, when we visit it. The beach of the Rotunda has soft golden sand, gentle waves, and brilliantly clear, aquamarine water. The surrounding cliffs add to the intimacy, almost creating a natural amphitheater of rock around the shoreline. Personally, this beach feels like a Mediterranean oasis, perfect for sunbathing, taking a dip, or simply marveling at the beauty of Tropea coastline. Alright, as promised, let us bring you to visit the sanctuary on the cliff. After all, the sun was already starting to slowly dip lower in the sky, and I found it hard to believe that it was already so late in the afternoon. To reach the sanctuary, first you'll need to ascend around 300 stone steps that wind up the rocky promontory from Tropea beach level. Though it might sound like a workout, the path is well built and not overly steep, with spots where you can stop, catch your breath, and enjoy increasingly stunning views. The sanctuary's cliffside location dates back to the medieval era. And according to local history and legend, the Benedictine monks who originally founded the sanctuary chose this site for both defensive and spiritual reasons. During those times, the coast of Calabria was vulnerable to attacks by pirates and other invaders. And by positioning the church on an elevated, rugged cliff, the monks created a sanctuary that could be easily defended and would serve as a lookout to spot approaching danger. The cliff also had symbolic significance. Being high above the town and sea, the sanctuary felt closer to the heavens, reinforcing its role as a place of prayer and divine protection. And the monks believed this elevation brought them spiritually closer to God, making it a perfect place for worship and reflection. Today, the Santa Maria dell'Isola is open to visitors and remains one of the most photographed sites in Calabria. And from its mystical history to the incredible views, this sanctuary is an unforgettable stop on any visit to Tropea. Atop, the sanctuary offers an extraordinary panoramic view that includes Tropea beaches, the sprawling sea, and on clear days, even the Aeolian Islands in the distance. And it's no wonder the sanctuary has long been a source of pride and protection for Tropea locals. All this swimming and climbing up have opened my stomach, and I was starting to feel hungry. So we left the sanctuary by climbing down the same path we took earlier to reach here. The road, which is also the seafront promenade, running alongside some of the most picturesque beaches in Calabria, is known as Via Lungomare. From there, just across the beach, there is another set of staircase that will bring us back to the old town, right at the Piazza del Cannone we featured at the start of this video. So we climbed up again, and paused halfway to rest and to enjoy the views of the sun, which was now already starting to set. I love the way the colors around us change right before sunset. And you have this feeling that everything around you is bathed in gold. There were definitely fewer steps than the 300 stone steps we ascended earlier to reach the sanctuary, but this time, it felt like it was taking quite a bit of effort to climb up. Especially I had to stop a few times to wait for my husband to catch up. I guess that his feet were hurting from walking bare feet earlier along the beach. As we reach the top, there's a magical atmosphere here at the Belvedere Piazza del Cannone. And just look at how the golden light hits the buildings, casting a warm glow over everything it touches. Next to the piazza, Via Umberto I is this lively street that winds its way slightly uphill towards the old town center, and it is bustling with small artisan shops, family-run gelaterias, and cozy trattorias offering the region's signature dishes. And here, you'll find everything from handcrafted souvenirs to boutiques selling locally made olive oils, Calabrian spices, and traditional ceramics, allowing you to bring a little piece of Tropea back home. In the evenings especially, this street comes alive with both locals and visitors, creating a lively, friendly ambience that feels like a true slice of Italian life. It was starting to get late in the evening and I was really hungry now. And as we look for a nice restaurant for dinner, now would be a good time to take a step back and reflect about this day in Tropea. And as we wrap up our journey through the enchanting streets, stunning beaches, and rich history of Tropea, we hope you've fallen in love with this coastal gem as much as we have. If you enjoyed exploring Tropea with us, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and leave a comment below. Tell us what you'd love to see on our next adventure. For now, time to enjoy this amazing T-bone steak. And stay tuned because in our next episode, we're heading inland, deep into the breathtaking mountain region of Basilicata. We'll start in the magical village of Castelmezzano, where ancient cliffside homes and dramatic views await. It's a journey into Italy's wild heart that you won't want to miss. And thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon on the Grand Tour of Italy.